business?
Elder Ingby said she will answer your call.
How did you manage to convince the Twoid tribe? They've always kept to themselves, no matter the hardships we faced. You've done the impossible, and I want to give you an artifact the Twoid tribe once guarded. Here, a part to the king's armor they were tasked with guarding.
Alright. Now, I don't care about the King Arthur gear because it's like heavy armor that I'm never going to wear. So the next stash chest I get to, we're going to just stash that. I've got the boots on me too. Alright, we have one more tribe to go yap with. Level up. Let's put a point in strength. What? What? ¿Qué pasa? Nada? Oh, okay. I have 54 cooked meat. Let's use those. Oh, that's a lot. That's awesome. Alright, I shouldn't have to worry about any food for a while. Those are pretty low key, but they're better than nothing. Alright, this is going to be a bit of a trek. I basically need to go north to that crossroad. But first I need to go west to go north. Alright, here we go. I think the minimum playtime is 50 to 75 hours digital. That's the minimum playtime, 50 to 75. And then if you're a completionist, it's like 80 to 100. I don't know if there's anything beyond 100 hours. Hate bears, man. Well, if you already bought it, Ivy, like that's kind of a silly question to ask after you bought the game. I'm obviously having fun with it because I'm like 12 sessions in or whatever. I'd have to check how many hours I'm in right now. I'm definitely deep into it. Alright, we're almost to the crossroads. A swarm? I can't even see the swarm. That was interesting. It, in Isdarak, as far as I'm aware, he is like a super tough. I don't know who he is. I have yet to find a way to kill him. So I don't go out at night. I make sure to rest and fast forward to daytime. I don't have any weapons that damage him. I don't know if there are weapons that can damage him. I don't know if he's meant to be an unbeatable boss that's just there to scare the shit out of you when it's nighttime. Like, I just don't know. But yeah, he's definitely a gnarly dude. Oh yeah, no, you can't. I've yet to find a way to damage him. I have no way. I have no idea. Is that iron? Oh, fuck, that bear's gonna come get me. Ah! Don't use your fire arrows. Alright. I am officially out of copper arrows. Time to switch to iron. Why are there so many bears? Okay, we're getting close. What I don't know is if we're gonna have to. I bet we have to go up top here. Woo! Alright, here we go. Next town reached.
I think you lost your way. Turn back and be on your way.
Where am I?
This is the village of the Sven tribe. Whatever you're looking for, you won't find it here.
Actually, I think I might. I have a message from
Well,
Gerfner.
maybe you'll find something, especially since you have the seal and all. What's the message?
It's meant for your chieftain.
Sure, I was just curious. Go on in. The chieftain's hut is the biggest one, right in the middle of the village. You can't miss it.
There's too many loading screens. I want a refund. Oh, that's awesome. All right, map. We should. He didn't say exactly where it was, though. He said biggest building, I think. So I'm assuming I gotta go up top. But I don't know. Who are you? Nope, nope, nope! Didn't mean to attack you. I'm so sorry.
Outsider, you chose a bad time to wander through our lands. Tell me, do you hunt?
I might if I had a lass like you with me by my side.
So, you hunt, even when you don't need to? Does mindless slaughter please you? I'll never understand people like you. Trying to understand. Someone's been hunting in our woods. It's slaughter. They leave carcasses to rot.
What are you doing?
Pierce the hides so they can't be used. I can't fathom it.
Come here. Where'd you go? You want to come up here and say hi to everybody? You're roaming around a lot on the bottom. What are you doing? Woo! Be careful. Want to say hi? Yes. No. She gets all activated when you pick her up because she's like, are we playing? Are we going to play?
No idea. Though some of the stag fathers chosen fled the woods.
We did.
Might
You come
have
over here.
even survived. They of all people should know the rules of the hunt.
I could take care of that for you.
Wouldn't say no time. Fine. Watch your step.
Well, I was hoping to, like, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, but you just kind of seem grumpy. Alright, I need to find the chieftain. I bet he's that building up there. So if I had to guess, I'll probably need to go out and around. Because there was like a ramp up. Yeah, this looks like we're on the right track. No, that's not it. Oh, that was Barlam. I wonder if that was him, because this is his house. And he was standing out front. Did you listen to your mommy? That was funny. Alright, so he's got a pyre here.
And who might you be? Are you the messenger of the Stagfather, the one Glirna foretold? If she's right for once, well, that'd be a first. You're a little late, by the way.
I don't think I made a prophecy.
Ah, perhaps that's for the best. The last thing we need is another self-proclaimed prophet causing trouble. As you can see, I've got enough on my plate. I'm Barlam, the chieftain. Welcome to the Svinelands. for the tribe that's just ceased to exist.
What happened here?
Can't you see? I won't speak of it further. Not with outsiders. See this? One of those bodies belongs to my son, Jens. He fought bravely to the very end. May the ancestors grant him a place at their table. May the unrealm of the hunt show him mercy. It's a damn shame his god failed him. Eh? No point wasting breath.
Geffer sent me.
Let me guess. He wants to call the moot. He's been trying for years, and every time...
Yeah, we were talking about
I get to
EverQuest loading
refuse.
screens the other day, digital.
Not
Like,
because I want to.
kids
I know
these
the moot is
days,
sacred law.
they just don't know.
But above that law is my duty to protect the tribe.
What are you doing?
And as you can see, I've failed. This fine tribe is gone.
Need some more medicine for your scratch? Put some more on tonight. Draken says, been thinking a lot about your comparisons to the Thief of Joy video mentality and realized that everything I do is comparing things. The food I eat, the games I play, the people I hang out with. Do you have any tips on how to break such a bad habit? I think there is healthy comparison, and then there's the type of comparison that we were talking about in that video. Healthy comparison is, as an example, I really loved the steak that I had at this restaurant. How can I find ways to make something like that and mirror that? Because it's something that I love. So there, I love this painting. It inspires me to make paintings like it. I love this piece of music. It inspires me to write music like it. There is nothing wrong with healthy comparison as a source of inspiration. The problem is when people look to other things and are always finding, and that's a mental block that you'll have to figure out how to break on your own. In terms of, the point of that video was the people who are always saying things like, it's the first girlfriend mentality, right? First girlfriend, first boyfriend. So many people have these nostalgia glasses about these experiences. First video game, first encounter with someone, first romantic dalliance, and those things stick in our minds. And the problem a lot of people have is they look back on those events and those things and they place them up on a pedestal and nothing else can ever compare. And so that's the dangerous, unhealthy aspect of it, is always comparing things to other things and being disappointed in those other things because they're never measuring up to that other thing. And you can't do that. Everything has to be its own thing. But you can have things that draw inspiration from. All right, Nistark, thank you. Have a good time. Thanks for being here, for hanging out for a bit. So here's a good example. I have lots of cats, right? Come here, Blanca. Well, you ran into the bed now. I have lots of cats. I've had lots of cats in my lifetime. It would be stupid of me to look back on all of the cats I've had in my life and be like, boy, this cat's not as good as that cat. The example I've used in the past has been the girlfriend example. Like, if you had an ex-girlfriend and every girlfriend you've had since then you compare to that girlfriend. Oh, well, that girlfriend did this. Why can't you do this? That girlfriend wore those clothes. Why can't you wear those clothes? That girlfriend cooked that. Why can't you cook that? That girlfriend did this for me on my birthday. Why can't you do that for my birthday? Man, that girlfriend, man, oh, man, that's unhealthy. Like, but that's literally just you. That's a funk. You got to get out of the funk. I don't know if that's something that comes with age. But I think, and this is something I've learned from my wife, who I'm going to turn the camera on right now because she's sitting in bed on her phone doing TikTok. Live in the moment. I don't necessarily always do that because I tend to hyper focus on future plans and analytics and stuff. But the point I want to make from that is, if you always focus on living the moment, living the best life today, enjoying what you have right in front of you. What does this sandwich taste like? What is this video game giving me with, today? Enjoyment. The and something that always helps me with perspective is um I've traveled internationally and I've lived in countries that are considered developing countries and poor countries. So here's one of the number one things. I have an air conditioner. I have a mini split on the wall here. That air conditioning unit is considered a luxury item where I live. It is not a standard installation. Matter of fact, our next door neighbor we just saw today, one of our next door neighbors is installing an air conditioner. We've been here 4 years, 3.5, a little over 3 years. They've been there the whole time we've been here, and they've never had an air conditioner. Think about that for a minute. And we live in an area where it gets up to where we are just now coming out of the hot season. The month of May, it gets up to 115 degrees Fahrenheit with a heat index of 120 plus, or 45 degrees Celsius, 42 to 45 degrees Celsius during the day with a heat index of 50 Celsius. And those people live with no air conditioner. So, many of the people around us do not have air conditioners because they can't afford it. Not only is it expensive for them to buy an air conditioner unit to put into their house, but then they have to pay for the electricity to run that air conditioner unit. Air conditioning is a luxury, not a human right. And it's not standard for most people living in the world. In the United States and maybe the UK, it's standard, but most countries in the world, and even over in the last, if you go back 50 years ago, air conditioning was not a standard thing in like the United States. So that one thing for me, knowing that air conditioning is a luxury item, every time that I flip this bad boy on and I can sit here with ice cold air blowing on my face while I sit here and play a video game, you know what's not happening? I'm not getting bombed. I'm not getting, I have clean drinking water. I have 2 internet connections. I have an Xbox. I have a PlayStation. I have an air conditioner unit on the wall. There are people around me that don't have those luxury items, let alone people in other countries who are suffering wartime conditions because of idiots in power, and they are being displaced from their land. You can look at what's happening in the Gaza Strip right now as a perfect example of that, or what's happening in Ukraine. I don't have to deal with that. And if you can look at the world through that lens, then you'll realize that playing a video game, it's a luxury, babe. It's a luxury. Like the fact that you can sit here with high-speed internet and a magical device that transports you to other worlds with the comfort of your own home with an air conditioning unit, and no one's bombing your house, no one's killing your children, no one's raping your mother or your sisters, the hospitals around your neighborhood aren't being bombed. When you start to put that into perspective, then the video games that we play for fun, you'll never bitch about a video game ever again. Ever. If you can take a global perspective. And that's a hard thing for some people to do. Some people can't do that. It's an impossibility. Because some people, the only thing they want to do is complain and bitch and whine. And that's the sign of a diseased mind. Like, there is a cure for that, but it's a, Yeah, I had box fans when I grew up too, digital. I grew up in Missouri, and we had box fans in the window. That was it. I didn't have an air conditioner unit of my own until I was probably, it was my early 20s, like 19, 20 maybe. No, it wouldn't even have been 19. I would have been 20, like 20, 21, something like that, was when I had an air conditioner unit. But up until I was 2021, I never had air conditioning. Had it in my vehicle, one of my vehicles. My first like 4 vehicles, I did not, which is when I got to a certain age, I was like, I'm gonna make sure that every vehicle I get from here on out has air conditioning. I also grew up with no power steering, like vehicles. I had no power steering in my first 3 trucks. No power steering and no air conditioner. Um, yeah, fun times.
Not having a tribe is what's holding me back. Can you turn back time? Bring my people back to life? No? That's what I thought. I don't know you, and if Gerfan thinks I'll trust someone from outside the tribes on his word alone, he's showing weakness, especially now. But I do have a solution. Find Kjell. If she vouches for you, I'll honor the voice of the tribe's request.
All right.
She should be nearby. She'll have a task for you, something to prove you can be trusted. Once that's done, meet me here. Maybe then I'll share something more.
All right. So, was that the lady I talked to earlier? Oh no! I almost fell. Ah. No, I think this is somebody else.
You picked a damned bad time to show your face here. Outsiders in the village are rarely good news. But now, after what happened, don't you think we have enough trouble without you?
Viste la cara de ella. I don't want any trouble for myself or for you.
Sure, that's what all outsiders say. Until trouble finds them. Anyway, watch yourself. One wrong move, and you'll have more than just me to deal with. Our whole village will be on you. At least, what's left of us. What do you want?
Kjell, right? Barlam won't talk to me unless you vouch for me.
Well then, the two of you aren't talking. I don't know you, and I'm not vouching for you. The sooner you leave the village, the better. For you, and for... Wait, hold on. There is one thing you could help me with. One of our hunters went to the cave nearby, and hasn't returned. With everything that happened here, I forgot all about him. If you want to prove yourself, find out what happened to him. And don't come back empty-handed.
Copy that.
Good. There's nothing more to say.